We all know that groggy, just dragged out feeling after a bad night's sleep. But what about the magic of deep sleep?
Race.
That amazing restorative stage that actually makes you wake up feeling, refreshed and ready.
Yeah, it's fundamental. But so many people struggle to get enough.
Exactly. And it turns out our modern lives, how our bodies change as we age, even medications we take,
Hmm.
they can all play a really big role.
You've hit on some key things there.
Yeah.
So much of our daily life kind of silently impacts our sleep quality.
Yeah.
So our goal today is really to pull back the curtain on deep sleep. We want to uncover what it is, obviously, but also why these everyday factors can mess with it. We're talking everything from, pills to your smartphone screen.
And crucially, we're not just here to list the problems right. We're going to equip you with evidence-based strategies,
That's the plan.
simple lifestyle tweaks,
Yeah.
maybe some cutting-edge tech, even a look at dietary supplements to help you reclaim that really good restorative rest.
Absolutely. So let's get started. So let's unpack this core idea first. Deep sleep. What is it? Officially, it's known as NREM stage 3 sleep. NREM is non-rapid eye movement.
Right, NREM3, sometimes called slow-wave sleep.
Exactly. Slow wave sleep because your brain waves during this stage are these distinct, large, slow waves. What's really interesting is that most of your deep sleep actually happens in the first half of the night.
Wow. It's kind of amazing when you think about everything that's happening while we're, just out cold in that state. What exactly is our body doing?
Well, think of it like your body's nightly tune-up and repair shop. Physically, it's huge.
Okay.
Your cells are busy repairing themselves, you're regrowing bone and muscle tissue, even fixing tiny little errors in your DNA.
Seriously, DNA repair.
Yeah. And your breathing slows way down, your blood pressure drops. It gives your whole cardiovascular system a much-needed break.
And it's not just physical, right? Deep sleep is a powerhouse for our brains, too. What else is going on up there?
Oh, definitely. Beyond the physical, it's fundamental for brain health. It's critical for strengthening your immune system, supports key hormonal shifts there. It actively promotes learning and memory formation. And here's something really fascinating. Deep sleep helps clear out waste products.
Waste products? Like what?
Like beta amyloid. That's a protein fragment that can build up and form harmful plaques in the brain.
Right, the stuff linked to Alzheimer's?
Exactly that stuff.
Right.
So this deep sleep brain cleaning process helps prevent that toxic buildup. It's incredibly important.
So it's like a nightly detox for body and brain. And you mentioned hormones. Deep sleep is a big player there, too.
Absolutely. Key hormones like growth hormone, vital for growth, metabolism, and prolactin, they're primarily released during deep sleep.
Oh,
Even the hormones that regulate your appetite, ghrelin and leptin, they're influenced by deep sleep. Impacts your hunger, how full you feel.
so that explains why you might feel ravenous after a bad night.
Could definitely be part of it, yeah.
So, okay, what does this all mean if you're consistently not getting enough of this really precious deep sleep stage?
Well, the consequences are pretty clear, both short-term and long-term. Immediately, you'll probably struggle with focus, clear thinking,
Brain fog.
total brain fog, noticeable mood changes too, and even an increased risk of accidents, falls.
Right.
Long-term, you're looking at higher risks for things like hypertension, heart disease, diabetes, obesity, even certain cancers.
Cancers. Wow, that connection might surprise people.
It does. It really highlights melatonin's role, not just for sleep, but as a critical antioxidant and immune regulator. And those functions get hit hard when deep sleep is lacking over time.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. How does sleep change across our lifespan? It seems like our relationship with sleep isn't static, especially as we get older.
That's exactly right. As we age, our sleep patterns naturally transform. Older adults typically find themselves going to bed a bit earlier, waking up earlier.
The early bird thing.
Kind of, yeah. But it's not just timing. Total sleep duration tends to decrease. Sleep efficiency, how much time in bed you're actually asleep, that goes down too. And crucially, the amount of deep sleep, that slow wave sleep, and REM sleep also tend to decrease.
So less of the good stuff.
Less of the good stuff, and also more waking up during the night, just more time spent awake overall when you're supposed to be sleeping.
Now, I've heard something interesting that most of these big age-related changes happen earlier, like between young and middle adulthood.
That's a really key point. The most significant shifts often happen then. After about age 60, in healthy individuals, sleep patterns often plateau or don't change dramatically.
So if a healthy older adult isn't seeing a huge drop-off just because of age, what is causing sleep problems for so many of them?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It suggests that for many older adults, it's not simply age itself, it's often other factors piling up.
Like what?
Things like illness, mental health issues,
Yeah.
depression, anxiety, chronic pain is a big one, and definitely an increase in medication use. Polypharmacy.
Right, taking multiple medications. And certain sleep disorders just become more common with age too, don't they?
They do. Insomnia is the most common for adults 60-plus trouble falling asleep, staying asleep.
Hmm.
Then you have sleep apnea, those pauses in breathing, restless leg syndrome, that awful, creepy, crawly feeling, periodic limb movement disorder, the leg jerking, and even REM sleep behavior disorder where people actually act out their dreams.
Wow, that sounds intense.
Yeah. Any of those can seriously disrupt sleep quality no matter your age, but they do become more prevalent later in life.
Okay, here's a weird thing though. Our sources mention that many older adults say they sleep well, even when tests show their sleep is actually pretty impaired. What's going on there?
It's a really fascinating disconnect. It suggests that maybe their perception of what counts as acceptable sleep changes with age.
Like they just get used to it.
Perhaps. They might accept less consolidated sleep as just part of getting older, even if objectively their body and brain aren't getting those full restorative benefits. It really highlights why objective data can be so important, not just how someone feels they slept.
Okay, let's dive into some of those disruptors, the things hiding in plain sight. Medications seem huge, like 40 to 70% of older adults have sleep problems, and meds are often a big part of that.
Oh, absolutely. It's almost overwhelming how many common prescription and even over-the-counter drugs can subtly or not so subtly chip away at sleep.
Can you give us some examples, maybe group them by how they interfere?
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it. Let's start with meds that can make you feel kind of wired or stimulated.
Okay.
Common cold and allergy decongestants, things with phenylephrine or pseudoephedrine, they can increase heart rate, cause anxiety, make you feel jittery, directly prevents depth sleep.
Right, like Sudafed.
Exactly.
Mm.
Similarly, some asthma medications, like albuterol, especially if used frequently, can cause excitability, headaches, palpitations, tremors. Even some mood and anxiety meds, certain SSRIs, or particularly bupropion, Wellbutrin can worsen sleep continuity, delay or reduce REM sleep. Bupropion is known for being stimulating.
So take those in the morning, usually.
Generally recommended, yeah. And of course, stimulants like Adderall, Ritalin, they're designed to increase alertness, so they make it harder to fall asleep and mess with your internal clock.
Makes sense.
Steroids, too, like prednisone, they often cause restlessness, can decrease your natural melatonin, disrupt sleep cycles.
So the takeaway for any of these stimulating meds.
Talk to your doctor. Ask about alternatives, adjusting the timing, like you said, morning dosing, or maybe non-stimulant options if sleep is becoming a real issue. But never just stop taking them on your own.
Definitely not.
Mm.
Okay, what about medications that affect sleep in less obvious ways? Maybe messing with hormones or the sleep stages themselves.
Good question. Blood pressure medications are a really big category here.
How so?
Well, ACE inhibitors like lisinopril might not cause insomnia directly, but they can trigger this persistent dry cough that wakes you up constantly.
Ugh. Yeah, that would do it.
And then beta blockers, things like propranolol, metoprolol, these are interesting. They can actually reduce your natural melatonin levels.
Wow.
Yeah, and some cross the blood-brain barrier, leading to poorer sleep quality, more awakenings, even nightmares sometimes, and they suppress REM sleep.
Okay, suppressing REM is not good.
Not ideal, no. And some prostate medications, alpha blockers like tamsulosin, can also reduce REM sleep, which we need for memory, emotional processing.
So these are messing with the actual architecture of our sleep.
Mm.
What about others that just cause, like, physical discomfort during the night?
Right. Diabetes medications like insulin or glipizide can potentially lead to nocturnal hypoglycemia. That's low blood sugar at night.
And that causes...
Restless sleep, night sweats, maybe shaking, racing heartbeat, even nightmares. Makes for a pretty rough night. Even dementia medications, like Donepezil, can sometimes have wake-promoting effects or side effects like pain or agitation that disrupt sleep. And pain meds, especially opioids, they definitely alter sleep cycles and can even contribute to or worsen sleep apnea.
It really does sound like a maze. So someone listening thinks, maybe it is my medication. What's the golden rule?
The golden rule for any medication suspicion. First, try to pinpoint when the sleep trouble started relative to starting the med. Was there a connection?
Okay.
Second, ask your doctor if morning dosing is an option, if appropriate. Third, and most importantly, Always talk to your doctor or pharmacist before stopping or changing anything. These meds are often vital, and they can usually help find solutions, dose adjustments, different timings, alternative drugs. Don't just stop.
Crucial advice. Okay, shifting from pills to pixels in our environment. What's the #1 environmental bad guy for sleep?
Oh, without a doubt, it's light, especially evening light exposure.
Or screens.
Our screens, exactly. Artificial light, particularly the blue and green wavelengths from LED screens, phones, tablets, computers, TVs, it significantly suppresses your melatonin production.
Tells your brain it's still daytime.
Precisely. It tricks your brain. In contrast, getting morning sunlight exposure is fantastic. It helps set your biological clock, tells your body, okay, time to be awake.
Good contrast. And it's not just light, is it? Noise is a big one, too.
Huge. Constant noise, airplanes, traffic, city sounds, it fragments sleep, even if you don't fully wake up. And chronic exposure is even linked to things like cardiovascular disease.
Wow. And temperature. My bedroom has to be cool.
Yes. A bedroom that's too hot or too cold makes it really hard to get good quality sleep. Your body temperature needs to drop slightly to initiate and maintain sleep. Aim for cool, dark, and quiet. That's the mantra.
Create that sleep sanctuary. Okay, besides external stuff, what about our own habits? What lifestyle choices sabotage sleep?
Oh, plenty. Caffeine and alcohol are top offenders. Both seriously degrade sleep quality, especially deep sleep. Best to avoid them completely in the evening.
And with alcohol, careful about stopping abruptly if you drink a lot, right?
Yes, absolutely. Alcohol withdrawal can be dangerous, so please consult a doctor before quitting heavy use.
Good point. What about eating? Meal timing, chrononutrition, is that the term?
That's it, yeah. Chrononutrition. Eating a big meal too close to bedtime isn't great. Your body's busy digesting when it should be winding down.
Right. And exercise, we know it's good, but timing matters.
It does. Vigorous workouts too close to bed can be overstimulating for some people. Better to do those earlier. Light restorative things like yoga or stretching earlier in the day or evening can actually be really beneficial for sleep.
And the obvious one, stress and anxiety.
The big one. High stress levels make it hard to fall asleep, hard to stay asleep, and definitely lead to less deep sleep. Our minds just won't switch off.
Okay, so we've identified a lot of problems. How do we start fixing it? How do we actually get more of that deep, restful sleep? Where do we begin?
Well, mastering the basics, sleep hygiene and mindful living, that's a fantastic starting point. And probably the single most impactful thing you can do is establish a really consistent sleep schedule.
Bedtime and wake-up time.
Exactly. Go to bed and wake up around the same time every single day. Yes, even on weekends.
The weekend part is tough.
It is, but it's so worth it. It anchors your circadian rhythm, your body's internal clock that helps you fall asleep faster, stay asleep better, and ultimately maximizes the time available for deep sleep. It's the foundation.
Okay, foundation set. Consistent schedule. Then what? What about winding down before bed?
Build a buffer zone. Create some relaxing pre-sleep rituals. Maybe a warm bath. The cool down afterwards helps trigger sleepiness. Reading a physical book, not on a screen. Listening to quiet music or a calming podcast.
Definitely not checking work emails or scrolling through stressful news.
Please don't. Avoid stressful discussions, heavy topics right before bed. Save those for earlier. Let your mind calm down.
And then the bedroom itself. You mentioned it cool, dark, quiet. Any other tips for the environment?
Make sure your bed and pillows are comfortable and supportive for you. That's subjective but important. If noise or light are issues you can't control, consider good earplugs, a white noise machine, or blackout curtains. Really invest in making it a sanctuary only for sleep and intimacy.
Or train your brain that bed means sleep. And these good habits extend into the daytime, too.
Absolutely. We mentioned morning sunlight, get that exposure. Regular exercise is great, just not too close to bedtime, maybe avoid it within 3 hours. And naps. If you nap, keep them short, like 20-30 minutes, and avoid them late in the afternoon or evening as they can steal your sleep drive for nighttime.
Makes sense. Okay, moving beyond lifestyle. Supplements. This is a huge area. People are always looking for a quick fix. Let's start with melatonin. Natural hormone, signals darkness. What's the real evidence?
Melatonin is probably the most studied sleep supplement. There's a decent body of evidence. One review found 5 out of 7 good trials showed statistically significant improvements in sleep quality compared to placebo.
So it can work for some people. How should you use it?
The typical advice is 1 to 3 milligrams, taken about 2 hours before your desired bedtime. It seems most helpful for occasional insomnia, adjusting to jet lag, maybe start taking it a few days before you travel, or for people with delayed sleep phase syndrome, like night owls trying to shift earlier.
Yeah, and if it doesn't work.
If you don't notice an improvement after a week or two, it's probably not going to work for you, so best to stop. It's generally considered safe for most people for short-term use, like 1 to 2 months nightly.
Are there warnings? People who shouldn't take it.
Yes, definitely. Do not use if you're pregnant, breastfeeding, have an autoimmune disorder, a seizure disorder, or depression. And talk to your doctor first if you have diabetes or high blood pressure, as it might affect blood sugar or blood pressure in some people.
Okay, important cautions. What about minerals? Magnesium gets a ton of buzz for sleep. What's the science say there?
Yeah, magnesium is super popular. The idea is it helps regulate GABA, that calming neurotransmitter, maybe boosts melatonin, relaxes muscles.
Sounds promising.
It does, but the clinical trials have shown pretty lackluster results, as one source put it, for improving overall sleep quality in people who already have adequate magnesium levels.
So it might only help if you're actually deficient.
That seems to be the main takeaway. If your serum magnesium is low, supplementation might help your sleep. If it's normal, it's less likely to make a big difference based on current evidence, so not a universal fix.
Good clarification. What about zinc? Another mineral sometimes mentioned.
Zinc plays a role in melatonin synthesis, influences GABA pathways, has anti-inflammatory effects. But the evidence for sleep specifically is pretty limited.
How limited?
Like only 2 recent trials highlighted, and they mostly involve female participants. They found some marginal or maybe statistically significant improvements in those groups, but we really need more research, especially including men, to say anything definitive.
Gotcha. Vitamin D. It seems linked to everything else. Why not sleep?
Well, there are vitamin D receptors in brain areas that regulate sleep. It helps modulate serotonin, which is a precursor to melatonin.
Okay, so there's a plausible link. Any trial data?
There was one interesting randomized controlled trial. It involved adults aged 20-50 with diagnosed sleep disorders. They took a high-dose 50,000 IU of D3 every 2 weeks for 8 weeks. They showed significant improvements in sleep quality, fell asleep faster, reduced sleep latency, and had fewer sleep disturbances compared to placebo. So, promising, but needs more research to confirm, especially dose and duration.
Interesting. And lastly, for supplements, L-theanine. It comes from green tea.
Right. It's an amino acid found in green tea. Its main proposed action is increasing GABA production, which promotes relaxation and might help with falling asleep.
And the evidence.
One randomized controlled trial found that 200 milligrams daily led to significant improvement in sleep quality and also reduced stress-related symptoms in healthy adults. So it looks like a potentially useful option, especially if stress is a big factor in your sleep issues.
Okay, beyond pills and potions, what about sleep tech? There's some exciting stuff happening. Auditory deep sleep stimulation, what is that?
Yeah, this is pretty cool. The tech administers these precisely timed, gentle sounds like clicks or pulses, specifically during your deep sleep stage.
Why then?
They time it to coincide with the up phase of your brain's slow waves. The idea is to gently boost or enhance those slow waves, which are so crucial for restoration and tend to diminish as we age.
Does it work?
Lab studies showed it could enhance the amplitude, the size of those slow waves, and even improve declarative memory, remembering facts and events. And importantly, a recent trial showed it could work remotely in people's homes.
Wow, in older adults too.
Yes, the remote trial was in adults aged 62 to 78, and it showed a robust and significant enhancement of slow wave activity right in their own bedrooms. That's a big step.
That is huge. Any caveats?
The main one is that the study found really pronounced differences in how people responded. Some responded strongly, others less so, and even the same person might respond differently on different nights.
So personalization is key.
Exactly. It highlights that future designs probably need to be much more personalized to be consistently effective for everyone. One size likely won't fit all.
Okay, what about the tech many listeners might already be using? Wearable sleep trackers, Oura Rings, Fitbits, Whoop straps. How good are they at actually tracking deep sleep?
Ah, the wearables question. They're getting better, but deep sleep is still tricky for them. One very detailed independent comparison looked at an Oura Ring with its newer algorithm against medical-grade EEG.
Gold standard.
Gold standard, yeah. And the finding for deep sleep prediction was, quote, not great, about 66% accuracy.
So wrong a third of the time.
Basically. And it tended to overpredict deep sleep by about 34 minutes on average in that analysis. REM sleep detection and telling when you're awake were better, but still not perfect.
So the takeaway, useful for trends maybe, but don't obsess over the exact deep sleep number each night.
That's probably wise. While the overall accuracy of these devices is improving, there are still significant individual differences. It might not perfectly capture your sleep stages, especially deep sleep, compared to a clinical sleep study, polysonogram. They're good guides, good for tracking consistency and total sleep time, but maybe take the stage breakdowns with a grain of salt.
Good perspective. So, with all these options, lifestyle changes, supplements, tech, when should someone stop trying to figure it out on their own and actually go see a doctor? What's the tipping point?
I'd say the tipping point is when your sleep problems persist, despite consistently trying these healthy sleep habits for a few weeks or maybe a month.
Okay.
Or, more urgently, if the sleep problems are significantly interfering with your daily life, your mood, your concentration, your job, your relationships, that's a clear sign.
And definitely if you suspect a medication or another medical condition is the root cause.
Absolutely. If you have a strong suspicion it's linked to a health issue or a specific medication, don't wait. Talk to your doctor. It's always better to get it checked out.
And what might a doctor do then? What are the next steps typically?
Well, they'll start by talking to you, getting a detailed history. They might ask you to keep a sleep diary for a couple of weeks, tracking bedtimes, wake times, naps, how you felt.
Get more data.
Exactly. If they suspect a specific sleep disorder, like apnea or restless legs, they might recommend a formal sleep study, a polysomnogram, either in a lab or sometimes at home now.
To get that detailed brain map.
Precisely. Or if they think an underlying medical condition might be playing a role, like thyroid issues, pain, depression, they might order other tests to investigate those possibilities.
So quite a few pathways depending on the situation.
Right. It's about finding the underlying cause to guide the right treatment.
Well, we've certainly taken a true deep dive today into this fascinating world of sleep, understanding its incredible importance, how it changes, all the things that can disrupt it, and thankfully, the really diverse strategies out there to improve it.
Yeah, from managing medications and optimizing your bedroom environment to carefully considering supplements or even exploring new tech like sound stimulation, the path is definitely multifaceted.
And very personal.
Very personal, absolutely.
So as we wrap up, here's something to think about. Considering how profoundly sleep impacts, well, everything, your memory, your mood, your long-term health, even how you show up in the world.
Yeah.
What single, maybe small change could be adjusting your light exposure, maybe trying that consistent bedtime, perhaps revisiting a supplement with your doctor. What one thing could have the most positive ripple effect on your well-being, maybe starting as soon as tonight?